This is the 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Is it the right mid-size hybrid sedan for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda to give you the information to help answer that question. If you are in the market for a mid-size sedan and you're saying you want the hybrid powertrain, so if you want to know more about this particular vehicle, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Holmes Honda website. That will get you going in the right direction, whether it's this model or something else they have in inventory that you may be interested in. So let's see exactly what you get with this Summit White model with black interior. We're going to start off here on the front end with the LED daytime running lights. And if you notice any flickering with the lights, that's not really happening. That just looks that way through the lens of my camera. So just so you know. And we'll have a combination here of some matte black finish and some gloss black. Really a nice balance, I think, where that's concerned. Also, the active air curtains right here. We're going to have one on each side. Obviously, that's going to help reduce drag and improve aerodynamics. One big thing that's a big advantage over the full EV version of any vehicle out there compared to something that is a hybrid such as this is that aerodynamics, while they do come into play here, not as important as you would have with a full EV, because you do still have the gas engine here paired with the dual electric motors. That's helpful, gives you a little bit of peace of mind. So how about your safety features? Honda Sensing is here, which is going to include adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure, lane keeping assist. All of that is there. Front wheel drive, obviously the only option here where the Accord is concerned, but what about your tire and wheel size? 235 on the width, a 35 series sidewall wrapped around the 19-inch wheels. The side view mirrors, while you don't have the turn signal indicators built in, they are manually folding, gloss black mirror caps, power adjustable, and a little hard to see, but you have your blind spot information system right there. Another safety feature that I know a lot of you are seeking on your vehicles. Here is your remote, and you can see that again, another favorite among many owners right there, the remote start feature. It is a smart key, or a proximity key, I should say, with the walk-away feature. Obviously a good thing. And you will find a few extras here to make this model look more sporty, being the sporty trim level with all of the trim on the lower portion of the vehicle that wraps its way all the way around and finishes things off here. Well, before we get to that point, let's also talk about the gloss black shark fin antenna, and then we finish off with the gloss black rear spoiler back here. And for those who in the past made fun of the taillights on the 10th generation of the Accord and said it looked like a crab claw or a stapler, you have a different design here, obviously, for 2024. That started as of 2023 with the 11th generation. Now, one thing that is different here compared to any other hybrid model, well, maybe not any, but a lot of hybrid models out there, is the fact that often when you go from hybrid, or non-hybrid, I should say, to hybrid, you're going to find less cargo capacity. Well, that isn't the case here, as you're going to have 16.7 cubic feet of cargo capacity, no matter if you go with a hybrid version of the Accord or a non-hybrid version. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people don't like about these models is what's not found under the floor here, but there is a solution, so don't give up just yet. And that's the lack of a spare tire. You can buy a tire kit, a spare tire kit for this car. I did a video on that recently to show more of that in detail. You can order that through the dealership, or you can order it online, Amazon, eBay. There's a number of places, and I've seen them anywhere from about $300 up to as much as $450. And they not only fit with this 11th generation, but I know the 10th generation as well. And for those of you who are saying, Tom, I really want to buy a 2024 Accord, but I don't want a turbocharged engine. What are my options? You're going to have to go hybrid to avoid the turbocharger. That's where you're going to find the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder paired with the dual electric motors. Combined horsepower 204, combined torque 247 pounds-feet, It is mated to a CVT, and I know a lot of people don't like the continuously variable transmissions, or in this case, I should say, an eCVT. Tell me why you don't like the eCVT. I'm curious to know. How about those all-important MPGs with this model? We're looking at 46 city, 41 highway, 44 combined, and 2.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. You do have a lockable gas door on this vehicle. That's always a good thing. But if you're curious to know, how big is the gas tank? 12.81 gallons. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers are going to find. How about the armrest? Well, just putting my arm up there for a few seconds, it seems comfortable. I don't know how long that would be comfortable, maybe for a long time. Hard to say because I'm not going to be here for a very long time. It feels kind of hard when you push on it. That's why I like to do the armrest test instead of pretending like I'm testing for the doneness of a steak. By the way, if a steak was that firm, I would never eat it. It would be beyond well done. Door bends right here, really more bottle holder than door bends. In fact, when I talked about the steak doneness, I guess that's why the fire department's on the way. They're saying, don't overcook your steaks. And the interior, black interior here. Let's hop inside so we can close the doors here and maybe not hear those sirens out there. Now, depending on where the front seats are located, there is a lot of room back here. Now, what about headroom? Hey, what do you know? I'm making an appearance on camera. So at 5'10", I'm sitting straight up. You can see how much headroom I have. You could actually fit back here, I believe, when you're over 6 feet tall. You just might have to sit a little bit lower in the seat. And there is a seat pocket right here on the back of the passenger seat only. And then also the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. It is very comfortable back here. The things that are missing in the back seat here on the hybrid sport trim level, well, you can probably see it already for yourself. No rear air conditioning vents and no USB ports. I don't know that that's that big of a deal because there is a solution I'm going to show you shortly for the lack of the USB ports down here. And with an interior of this size, I believe the air conditioner will likely take care of things without any problems with the vents from the front seat area. And for those who are asking about price, well, there's a couple of things to tell you about here. Here is the price, because I don't know what every dealership does, but $33,745. I'd say that's a decently reasonable price. Now, you will find some items that have been added by the dealership here at Holmes Honda, and that will include several different things, as you can see right there. I'm just going to show you what's here. That brings the price up to $37,439. So there you go. And if you're wondering, because I know a lot of people do ask about this window tint, what are we looking at? So we're looking at 40% on these front windows. When we move to the doors on the rear, back here is going to be 25% and then 12% on the back window. And if you're wondering, well, what do those numbers mean, Tom? That's the percentage of light that's allowed into the interior with the window tint that is on those windows. And we'll take a look into the front seat, starting here with the passenger side. Passenger side door, a little bit more space with the armrest. That's feel a little bit softer too. It is comfortable one way or another, whether it's the front or the rear, but if you want to know if one's softer than the other, you definitely have a little bit softer armrest here on the front doors and a larger door bin as well. Now here on the sport trim level, on this model, you will find a manually adjustable passenger seat and a power adjustable driver's seat. Quick look into the glove box here. We'll see what we have as far as plenty of space goes. USB connections will be found. You have two options here, or two USB outlets here. As far as your driver and passenger go, a little bit of space up here, your conventional style shifter, drive mode selector, as you can see. I think you know everything else that is here. Now, within the center console, not only is a reasonable amount of space, but you will also find the 12-volt power outlet. That's the solution I was referring to for your rear seat passengers. You could run an adapter back there to them. There will be no problem closing the lid for the center console with the wire that is part of that adapter to give them some USB options. So that's good to know. you do have the conventional size sunroof. How many of you would like to see Honda add a panoramic sunroof as opposed to this conventional size that does slide and tilt open? Here are the controls, or is the control for that right here. What do you think? And then we will have our sunglass holder. No conversation mirror for those of you who want to keep an eye on what's going on in the back seat with your kids, or even with the adults. But you do have all of your other features here. I know a lot of you like to see what's on the upper console, and there is everything that you have as far as this model goes. And let's take a look into the driver's seat. See what the driver is going to find. Obviously, all of the controls and switches you would expect to find here. Controls for your side view mirrors. The power side view mirrors, you can lock or unlock all 4 windows. And the front windows here on the driver and passenger side doors are 1 touch up and 1 touch down. They are not 1 touch up or 1 touch down for the rear. If you want to open the trunk, there's the button to do that. One of the multiple ways to do that. And the release right here allows for adjusting the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And there's the greeting that comes up when you hop into the Accord. And there are some changes that can be made here to the dash if you want to do that. First of all, we'll take a look at what happens when you turn your headlights on. You'll see the illumination in front of the car. Also, the brake lights will come on there as well. When you go into drive, it goes down into driving position. Just something interesting to note there. So I thought some of you might enjoy seeing. Now, you can go in here and there's a lot of different information depending on what you want to see. Or if you want to customize the display, you can do that. So you can see what you have as far as you can hide and show different options. And if there's something up there that's not visible and you want to see it and it's available to be seen, here's where you're going to come to deal with that. And then obviously we can go to display content right here, and pretty easy to figure out what's there. Now you can do this on both sides, but here's what's interesting about this. You have your power flow meter. Obviously there's quite a few different things here. Navigation, depending on what you want, driver attention, driver safety, seat belts. Depending on what you need to deal with or what you need to see, well, you can do that right there. So, a very nice setup. Brightness setting, vehicle stability assist mode. Depending on what you want to do, well, there you go. And gauge display settings once again. Now, here's the thing about this side. If you want to change the design overall, well, you can do that. Let's go right here to bar, and we'll see what comes up. We'll just leave it like that just for the fun of it. There you go. So that's what you have. Quite a few different options there. Again, I do have a video on that if you want to see that. Over here on the left side, we'll find the control for the headlights and the turn signals. Some of you may have not known that this lever does more than one thing. Now you do. You might try that when you're driving down the road and let people know what you're doing. And obviously your steering wheel mounted controls, you've really already seen that. And what appear to be shifter paddles here on the Accord Hybrid, they are not shifter paddles. That's how you control your regenerative braking. So, and the 12.3-inch touchscreen. As of this point, as far as Hondas you can buy, that's the largest screen that's available right now. Down the road, we'll have to see what comes. Some people I know with some of the other Honda models talk about how the 9-inch isn't big enough. Do you think the 12.3-inch is big enough? We'll have to see what comes down the road with future models as far as what's available if we get anything larger than this. But a very easy screen to use, very user-friendly, wireless connectivity for your phone, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. Very easy to go in here and make changes as far as the vehicle goes, and there is a lot. I'm not going to go through everything, but we'll just show you what's there real quick. You do have your power flow meter over here on the right-hand side, but if you want to put that in a larger area, you can do that as well. You'll have the multi-view rear view camera, 3 different views as far as that goes, depending on what you need to see. There you go. That's easy to deal with. And a good old-fashioned knob right here. A lot of people apparently like that from what I've seen in the past. Just something that's easy to deal with. That's for controlling the volume on the radio or turning it on and off. And you will have dual zone climate control here in the front seat. area that obviously controls the air conditioning. Pretty easy to deal with. And one other thing that I did want to show here before we go out for our test drive, right here, you have your drive mode selector. What exactly are the drive modes? Well, you have Econ. You start off with normal. You'll also have sport, and then we'll also have individual. And so let me show you what happens when we go there to customize. Depending on what you want, if you want the powertrain to be sport or say Econ, whatever, you can do that. What about steering? If you want that to be sport or normal, you can change that. You can see what else you have here. Pretty easy to deal with, but depending on your situation, well, you can make changes appropriately or desires, whatever you're in the mood for. So what is it like to drive the Accord as we get out on a quick test drive here? Well, it's definitely a fun car to drive. You definitely will get a nice sporty driving experience where the Accord is concerned. And overall, when you change driving modes, you can tell a little bit of a difference, especially when you go into sport mode. It may not be a massive difference, but you can definitely tell that the engine is running a little more freely. The RPMs are going to go up a little quicker than they would otherwise. Definitely makes for a little bit more fun and, well, sporty driving experience, what you would expect to find in a situation like this with the Accord Hybrid Sport. And I know a lot of people were disappointed when Honda decided to do away with the 2.0T for these Accords with the 11th generation. The closest you're going to get to that particular style of experience is going to be with the hybrid version of the Accords. No matter the trim level you buy, you're still going to have the same powertrain and the same horsepower and torque numbers as they gave you earlier in the video. And obviously the different driving modes, depending on your situation, will determine what you choose depending on what you need to do or want to do. But I'll tell you what, if you have a bad day going and you're stressed and you say, you know what, I'm getting out of the office, I'm getting out of the house, whatever you're dealing with, and you're going to go out for a spirited drive. Well, put it in sport mode. Go find a twisty road if you have something like that available where you live, and I promise you will have some fun. It's a good thing. It definitely handles well. Now, it may not be Civic Type R or anything like that, but it definitely gets down the road with no problem. The handling characteristics are what I would call sporty. And overall, the one thing I wish I had a little bit more of in this car was time. I had a press car or something along those lines where I could maybe take a little bit of a road trip, maybe be on the road for a couple hours or so. That would definitely allow me to tell you for sure what the experience is like as far as how comfortable the interior is after you've been in it for a while. Now, for those of you who have that experience with the 23 or 24 Accord Hybrid, tell us down in the comments. You're going to have a little bit more feedback that you can give than I can, but overall a very enjoyable vehicle to drive, a comfortable ride quality. The seating seems to be comfortable, and one thing I can definitely say for sure is that the interior has plenty of space, and you'll also find easy access to everything you need to get to. You'll also find very easy to learn and use technology for those who are maybe saying, yeah, I don't really want all that technology. And I understand some people don't want all the technology, but it's what these vehicles come with now. Would it be a wise idea for automakers to offer trim levels that don't have all of the technology? Well, I know there's some people out there who would like that. I don't think we're ever going to see something like that in the future, but who knows? Maybe if you request it enough, that might happen. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It gets the job done. You can have some fun getting around. You can take the edge off for a stressful day and still get some solid gas mileage in the process. Okay, so tell me down in the comments what you think. Is the 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport the right mid-size sedan for you? I tried to give you the information, really the main high points of what you can expect to find here, maybe a little bit more than that. Obviously, there are multiple exterior colors available, so depending on what you want and different trim levels, well, this is a good place to start. So tell me what your thoughts are. Don't forget, if you want to buy this particular model or something else here at Holmes Honda, to check out the link down in the description of the video. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at the dealership for loaning me this Accord for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.